Hi guys, I'm playing Witcher 3 new patch today. Uh, I finally get to it because I've been trying to get the controller working. It didn't work on GOG apparently, and I had to add the game to Steam in order for it to work. So the controller works fine now. I'm trying to tweak the settings here, so bear with me a bit. I think the current settings that I'm on, like ray tracing to the max, requires some kind of DLSS, right? So I've turned DLSS to quality, and yeah, sharpening off as usual, motion blur off, it's not my thing, all sorts of blurs off, the normal things I'll still turn on. I've turned on NVIDIA HighWorks to the max. I think it's a little bit unnatural, but yeah, let's do this as a test, but not like try to fine-tune the graphics too much. Display anything to check here. I think suddenly we want full screen, maybe. Yeah, I think I'll turn this down to okay, I'll just keep it at 120. I think the frame rate will be around 60 or less, even on this 4090, because I don't know what that is. Anyway, yep, so here we go. It takes a little bit to load even on the SSD. It's the Samsung 980 Pro M2 M.2 SSD. I think it works great in most other games, but the loading in this game certainly takes a bit of time. If you don't mind, I mean, even for games like Spider-Man, right, it loads in like 2 seconds, but this is like getting a little bit long for an M.2 SSD. I heard the 980 Pro, 990 Pro is coming out. I'm not sure if any of you have tried that. So 990 seems to be the latest and greatest. But until I switch my motherboard to an Intel Z790 or the latest like 7 series CPU on AMD, I don't think I'll be switching the SSD. So as you see, I mean, in this demonstration, I think the color of the swords looks more vibrant. The grass themselves are much better than before. I don't notice any kind of ray tracing yet. I mean, because it's like full of grass and like other stuff, right? Trying to turn. I've stopped using Afterburner to show the FPS because sometimes it just crashes with games, and it doesn't work well. For example, with Callisto Protocol, it causes crashes sometimes, and also with NFS Unbound, which came out like shortly after Callisto Protocol. And yeah, those two games really made me not too confident to do like recordings with that now. But I have shared the play on. I mean, I can see it. It's currently around 53 to 57-ish FPS, even on the 4090. The 99% FPS is around 40-ish, 40 something. So I think if you come from last gen, where like 30 FPS is pretty much the norm, I think it's acceptable, especially for an RPG. But if you are trying to like hit like silky smooth performance, I think maxing RT and just doing like even turning on DLSS quality wouldn't cut it. So let's see. So what happens if we turn up the DLSS? I think it will even blur, but I think it will be a little bit smoother. I don't even recall how to I call up the menu. I haven't been playing this game for a while. I finished the main game. I think it was great, but I haven't like gone on to the expansions because it was like a little bit too tiring for me. Okay, going back to display. Okay, I can see DLSS frame generation. I'm not sure why it's off. I think I saw the same thing happening in. I think it's in the bar where I turned on DLSS, but I couldn't really choose frame generation, right? So I'm not sure what caused that. Yeah, so I'm just trying to like turn the other settings on and off to see what happens. And apparently I can't adjust the DLSS quality in game, so we have to stick to this kind of like around 70-ish FPS now. Let's try to travel to a place where there's more, I think, some fun, more graphics intensive, perhaps in town. I have to first find a port thing. Yeah. Am I going to the right direction? Okay, just behind me. Yep, see it. I'll try to go to Novigrad. See what happens there. Okay, this is the old place. Oh, I'm just so sick of this, like all these points on map. No offense to this game, but I mean, after playing Elden Ring especially, it's hard to look at these kinds of maps. I think it's already better than, say, Assassin's Creed, but still, that's a lot on the map. Okay, yeah, well, let's see how do I zoom out even. Yeah, it's been way too long. I'll just try to do any town. Yeah, perhaps this one. Yeah, I'll report to you guys how the FPS is after I've entered this town. I think, as the developers say, you really need a very beefy like PC to be able to run the all the RTX stuff in this new patch, and they're not lying. I promise you. If you do native, I don't think you can like turn RT all the way back out, all the way out. So I'm at around 52 FPS currently, 52 to around 60 something. The 99% average would be 40 something. Yeah, and I see the GPU utilization is around like 90%, and CPU utilization around 4 to 6%. So it's almost like all GPU bound at this point, with all the RTX stuff turned on and max settings. So I'm still trying to find out whether I can see anything that's ray traced. I think it's much easier to see from a modern game like Cyberpunk, where there are glasses and like mirrors. I don't think they're mirrors, but yeah, certainly glasses everywhere. Takes I think this light looks quite good. Let me try to maybe like switch between with and without RT and see like how it looks. Graphics, yep, off. I'm not sure if there's like any big difference. I think the light is a little bit more even throughout. I think when I had RT on, it's a little bit like a progressive. I mean, the light reflecting from the ground before the stones. I'll turn it back on again, and before that I will report back the FPS is around 120 with RT off on 4090 max settings. DLSS quality 99% FPS around 70 to 90, I think. Yeah, I'm going to turn back on RT. Yep. Oh, it's a deep menu to go through every time. Yeah, just turn it to, and I'll also try FXAA without ray tracing first before we move on. I don't see a big difference here. So FPS around 120, 99 around fluctuates a lot, like from 70 something to 100 something. Okay, so I'm going to turn back on RT really this time. Yeah, the anti-aliasing certainly looks worse on FXAA, so I have to really turn back on. I mean, there's a noticeable difference. I'm not sure if you can see it if you're using like a non-4K monitor. It's very clear from here. So to turn that back on, I'm going to use DLSS. Yeah, let's try auto. How about that? Because it was still a little bit laggy. Yeah. Yeah, back to, I think, still quality. It's like around 70 FPS, lows around 50 something. So we have water here. So let's see what the water reflections look like. Don't think there's that much of a difference. What's this thing over here? The reflection of this thing. Let's see what happens if we turn ray tracing off. I think it's still very not real still, even with ray tracing on and everything ray traced at to max. Okay, I keep getting into the wrong menu. Sorry about that. Display and yep. Sorry. Display mode full screen. It's weird. I just can't turn DLSS frame generation on. I mean, the 40 series is about the only thing that's possible now, right? So I'm not sure why it didn't work. Anyway, I'm turning on. Turning off ray tracing in total. Or did I not turn it off all the way? Maybe I'll turn it off and turn the individuals off. Okay, looks like we have reached the game here. So I think at the end of this video, I'm not going to waste this video anyway, but thanks for watching. So I'm just going to talk a little bit more and do some more like gameplay recordings of this game. I like this game, and I'm going to play the expansions now that I think I'm less exhausted from my main playthrough. Thank you very much for watching.